LoreWarrior Aerotech. The Ammon. Overview. After recently solidifying their hold on much of the world of Barcella, Clan Diamond Shark began immediately assembling a manufacturing plant to make use of the world's resources. Once construction of the simply named Barcella First Factory was completed, the clan began production of several battlemech types, units to be used on planet against the Ice Hellions and Jade Falcons. The only new item produced there was a second-line aerospace fighter, the first new second-line fighter built in over a century, the Ammon. The Ammon entered service in 3064 and has been instrumental in the complete removal of the Ice Hellions from Barcella, backing up the assaults of Beta Galaxy. The Diamond Sharks are more than willing to use aerospace assets against hardened targets, and the Ammon has been used extensively on Barcella to do just that. Many of the Ice Hellions' strongest and most fortified bases were hit, first by bombs, then strafing runs, and then levelled by an assault of ground forces. The Ice Hellions were unprepared for this, and so were forced off-world. Now with them gone, the Diamond Sharks need worry only about the Jade Falcons. They have continued to produce fighters in the same numbers as before, however selling the surplus to clans like Ghost Bear and Coyote, both of whom were impressed by its initial effectiveness. Capability. The main weapons of the Ammon are its 3 nose-mounted ER large lasers. These are dangerous both in dogfights and during strafing runs, as they can strike targets at much longer ranges than most targets are capable of striking back. Equipped with enough heat sinks to fire all 3 at a near continuous pace without adverse effect, Ammons in combat often seem to have a singular powerful headlight. Backing up the lasers are 2 Streak SRM-6 racks, one in each wing, which unleash a veritable cloud of missiles when fired simultaneously. The smoke left behind by such a launch seems to reef the fighter in a torus shape, making an Ammon that's just fired both its lasers and its missiles a odd sight indeed. Almost as an afterthought, an aft-firing ER small laser was included in the design. Rarely used, it seems to be more there to provide peace of mind to the pilot than of any real combat effectiveness. Though weak, pilots do seem to be glad to know that they at least have something to fire if an enemy does get on their tail. Deployment. Clan Diamond Shark has only deployed the Ammon in Omega Galaxy's 57th Combined Assault Cluster and the 17th Air Assault Cluster, which are based on Barcella. This makes supplying the fighters quick and easy. Never one to pass up the opportunity for profit, though, the Sharks have sold the design to several clans, and have gone so far as to sell the specifications to the Bears and Coyotes. Both clans were impressed enough with the design to immediately begin pre-production of the Ammon. So this chunky bastard is a 65-tonner. Its frame is known as the Ripscale Type 3. Its power plant is a 260 standard, and its armor is the Formula Z5D or Z5D standard. Armament is 3 Series 7K extended range large lasers with 2 Type 6 SRM-6 street launchers and a single Series 1G extended range small. It's manufactured by various groups, and its communication system is the S9G Gamma Series Communications, and its targeting and tracking is the Dexter 3 sensor suite. You see, there's the compromise. The Dexter series of targeting and tracking systems. They're cheap, they're affordable, don't get me wrong, but they are prone to all kinds of failures based on atmospheric conditions, for instance. And sometimes, even in deep space, these things, they just crap out. And they've never quite been able to fix the problem, because even after numerous patches on the software side of it, it doesn't seem to be the problem. So the Sharks seem to think it might be some kind of production issue on their side, but either they're not willing to admit this, or they're just not willing to put in the resources required to fix it. And that's why now we're up to the 3rd version of the Dexter suite. And no doubt, rumor is the 4th one's going to come out, and this time they claim it's going to be fixed, but I highly doubt it, knowing how they are. Anyway, the engine is 260, so it has a safe thrust of 6 and a maximum thrust of 9, with 20 double heat sinks, so a nice 40, keep it cool. It has 70 armor on the nose, 60 on the wings, and 34 on the aft, an odd number, but there we go. As it says, it has a trio of ER large lasers, all nose-mounted, which you can see firing in the artwork there, and then 1 Streak 6 launcher in each wing, with only 15 rounds of ammo, so a single ton split between both launchers, so not a lot actually. You can imagine a lot of that being fired fairly quickly in a dogfight, But then, as it says, it's got more than enough heat to handle the weapons fire from the ER larges, even if it was just a case of being able to fire like 2 then 3, 2 then 3, kind of like using a normal awesome, for instance, just to account for any other heat, atmospheric, heat, ambient heat conditions, that kind of thing. It's still pretty effective. Obviously, damage is good and range is very good as well. So, yeah, it's a cool-looking fighter as well. Again, big, heavy, sort of wide fighter. Definitely looks more like a kind of striker than any kind of dogfighter, but its speed isn't actually too bad. So, yeah, it's I would say this is a bit of a sort of all-round multi-role kind of craft, just more in the heavier side of things. It's not trying to do anything special, but what it does really well, which in this case I imagine is decent at being able to engage other fighters, either when it's escorting larger craft like dropships, or being able to make attacks on larger craft like that. And yeah, in the ground strike role, that's a pretty devastating amount of firepower. I mean, that's enough to cripple some light mechs outright. Ruin the day of some mediums upwards from 40 to probably 45 ton, and anything above that, it's going to feel it if it can, get a good enough strike. And then, yeah, vehicles, the only thing it really struggles against within the rules of Battletech is infantry if they were equipped with, surface-to-air munitions. That's where it might struggle a bit. But outside of that, yeah, it's not too bad. But, yeah, it's the Ammon. It's a cool-looking ship. Yeah, I quite like it. So, yeah, that's a 65-tonner. We've got a couple more clan fighters upcoming here in TRO 3067. And, yeah, I'm glad some of you have been enjoying the aerospace stuff. So, yeah, we'll get through it. But don't worry, mechs will be returning at some point in the near future. Don't worry, we've got a few weeks. Since, like, 2 of these go up during a week, Wednesdays and Sundays. So, just bear with me. Okay, anyway, have a couple of all. See you next time. Bye.